নমস্কাৰ, এয়া 3 বছৰ আবেলিৰ খবৰ ষ্টুডিঅ'ত মই প্ৰাঞ্চল প্ৰতিম হাজৰিকা আৰু আজি বাজেট দাখিলৰ পাছত মন্ত্ৰী পীয়ুষ গোয়েলে এখন সংবাদমেল সম্বোধন কৰিছে। আগবঢ়াইছো পোনপটীয়া সম্প্ৰচাৰ।
2 years from now, when we implement the new software and an anonymized system of tax assessment will be introduced for all taxpayers. I think keeping the fisc prudent, maintaining fiscal discipline, bringing down inflation and yet providing benefit to 130 crore Indians has been the hallmark of this government. I must, in conclusion, thank the Prime Minister for his visionary leadership to take benefits to 130 crore Indians and yet ensure all-round development in every sphere, maintaining the highest standards of ethics and integrity, an honest government that has delivered on all that we had promised and will continue to deliver in a big way in the years to come, for which I have set out the 10-dimensional vision of this government for the next decade. We believe India will be one of the fastest growing large economy for years and years to come, and that benefit will be enjoyed by 130 crore fellow citizens for years and years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We'll take questions now. Please be brief and pointed in your questions. The second thing is that you identify yourself and your organization. So the lady there, yes, please.
Sir, Timsi Jaipuria from CNBC TV 18. This side, sir. Sir, in your
Straight down.
front. Sir, I have 2 questions. You have brought down the fiscal...
One question each. I won't be able to last.
Yes.
One question
only.
You've promised in your speech here itself that in the coming budget you would like to further look at the income tax rates and slabs.
That is the right of the then finance minister.
Do we take it as a promise that
Not
upcoming
at all.
budget is likely to
Not
give
at
more
all.
relaxations on income tax side?
Madam,
because middle
I
class
had-
is a
I
little
had to
depressed
constrain-
because only a standard deduction is what we are seeing on the
I
face
had
of
the
it.
constraint of this being an interim budget. However, there were many things which could not have waited for the final budget, particularly the relief to the small taxpayers, which I have passed on. The rest is for the then finance minister in July 2019 to decide. But if you see the track record of this government, for the last 5 years consistently, we have passed on benefits to our taxpayers. You saw the income tax limit on interest increasing from 1.5 lakh to 2 lakhs. You saw the tax slab, the exempt slab increasing from 2 lakh to 2.5 lakh, and then further through the tax rebate, all taxpayers up to 3 lakh were made exempt from tax earlier. You saw that we have increased the investment in specified savings to 1.5 lakhs from 1 lakh. This has been a government which has continuously shared the benefits of higher tax collection with all of you. The rest is for the people to decide.
Fiscal deficit is again a concern, sir.
Sir, only one question, please. No, just one sec. Lakshman.
सर, मैं लक्ष्मण CNBC आवाज से। मेरा सवाल टैक्स छूट को लेकर जो आपने फैसला लिया उसमें छोटी सफाई चाहिए। सफाई ये कि अगर किसी की टैक्सेबल इनकम 8 लाख रुपए है तो अभी क्या उसको पहले के नियम के मुताबिक 2.5 लाख से ऊपर के सारे पैसे पे टैक्स लगेगा या फिर 5 लाख?
जी, पहले के हिसाब से सब टैक्स प्रपोजल्स को मैंने इसमें चेंज नहीं किया है, इंटरिम बजट की अपनी मर्यादा रखते हुए।
तो शाहिद अब्बास फ्रॉम Cognitive Information.
Lady there.
Piyush Bhai, yes. Sheila Bhatt from News18. Piyush Bhai, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has said that this is an election budget, and he said that the concession given to middle class and farmers will create complications. Please comment.
मैंने इसलिए I gave the whole background of our government's working for 5 years, that this government has worked for the welfare of the poorest of the poor, of the middle class, of the farmers, of the unorganized sector, and I listed out so many things we did for our labor over the last few years in the budget speech also. So this has been one government which has consistently worked for the benefit of every section of society. It is unfortunate that the former Prime Minister, who was in office for 10 years, could not think of development of 130 crore or at that point of time of every citizen of this country, but his work remains limited to very small sections of society. Prime Minister Modi has worked for every section of society.
So this is Shahid Abbas from Cogensis Information Services. So you have made an announcement of giving 6,000 rupees per annum to farmers who must be landholders. Now there are a big chunk of farmers who are not landholders and they work on batai, number one, and at the same time there are other section of farmers who lease out their land and they do not do farming and the other person farms. So the other one is not a landholder. So what is the criteria for the other one to who is a
This
lease?
scheme is for, because the only record available right now
I'm
is
not just finished.
based on the land holding of farmers across the country. This scheme will be for all the farmers who have less than 5 acres or less than 2 hectares of land. There are many other schemes that automatically give benefit to other farmers who may be tilling the land, and obviously those who own the land but not till it themselves will, I am sure, pass on this benefit to those who are tilling the land.
So I was not over, sir, but will it not hit the talk that you talk about fiscal
can't hear.
prudence and discipline? I'm
Uh,
asking, my question was not complete, sir. And will it not hit, sir?
निमिश कुमार फ्रॉम हिंदुस्तान समाचार न्यूज एजेंसी। आपने अभी कहा कि 130 करोड़ में से 6.85 आयकर दाता हैं और आपने कहा कि आपकी सरकार कोशिश कर रही है कि देश ईमानदारी की ओर बढ़े। इसमें से जैसा मिस्टर जेटली ने पहले हमें बताया था 3 करोड़ तो आपके गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय हैं, उसमें बहुत सारा एक बड़ा चंक जो है वो प्राइवेट सैलरीड लोगों का है। तो कितने कारोबारी इनकम टैक्स देते हैं और उन्हें आप उनको कैसे इस टैक्स दायरे में लाएंगे?
मैं समझता हूँ सभी छोटे कारोबारियों को भी इसका लाभ मिलेगा। 5 लाख तक जिसकी आय है, आफ्टर ऑल द अदर डिडक्शन, आप वो सब डिडक्शन तो उन सबको भी मिलते हैं, चाहे मेडिक्लेम हो, चाहे ब्याज जो कमाते हैं या प्रोविडेंट फंड में डालते हैं उसकी छूट हो, वो सबके लाभ तो सभी को मिलेंगे। तो मैं समझता हूँ जो करदाता है अलग अलग प्रकार के, अलग अलग देश भर में, उन सभी को कुछ न कुछ प्रकार से इस सरकार ने 5 वर्षों में लगातार फायदा पहुंचाया है, इंटरिम बजट की मर्यादा रखते हुए, जिससे छोटे जो करदाता हैं 5 लाख तक की आय वाले, टैक्सेबल इनकम वाले, उनको लाभ पहुंचे, वो निर्णय हमने आज इंटरिम बजट में अनाउंस किया है।
Sir, this is Sapna Das from CNBC TV 18, sir,
Take
right
please.
here.
I am Ujjwal from Newsrise. My question is for DA Secretary. Sir, you have reduced the net borrowing target to 5.35 lakhs while fixing the calendar for H2 borrowing. Now you have again increased it to 5.71. So what was the basic reason behind it? It is the revenue shortfall or additional expenditure? And other thing, so now more auctions will happen, bond auctions will happen than the prescribed calendar which you have already did.
So we have reduced the gross borrowings earlier also, about 70,000 crores. So gross borrowings still remains lower than the budgeted, but the net borrowings have been increased by about 32,000 crores, partly to pay for increased fiscal deficit and partly to build cash balance. There would be 2 more additional auctions for raising this resource.
Sir, very quickly, Sapna Das here from CNBC TV 18. If you can see me.
CNBC का।
अरे ये तो सामने
Just one quick question, so I'll not take more than 10 seconds in framing my question. Laudable and important, significant relief given in this interim budget. The government has had a new convention by doing that. A lot of important direct tax changes have come out. You also have a new fiscal roadmap, a completely new fiscal roadmap.
I think a lot of the growth that was not captured in the GDP numbers that had come out earlier, because the nation is rapidly moving towards more formalization. And you would have observed that as the nation moves towards formalization, tax revenues are going up, the tax base is going up. Probably it has taken some time for that to come into the system in terms of calculations. But as more and more calculations are getting robust, I am quite confident that given the new numbers that are coming out, the fiscal roadmap may not change very much.
Sir,
Yes.
No, that has been changed based on the estimates we had. But now with the new estimates when we calculate, I believe we have done better than the original roadmap also. And
Sir,
when it comes to the farmers, I'm sure each and every one in this room and all your viewers will also appreciate that our farmers are our annadatas. And for all of us, it's a matter of pride, as I recognized in my speech and as I recognized earlier today when I spoke to you, that for all of us, it's a matter of pride that our tax goes to serve the poorest of the poor, serve our mothers and sisters, give electricity to our children, ensure that our mothers and sisters don't have to be without a toilet, ensure they get free cooking gas, and I'm certain that my taxpayers, our country's taxpayers, will appreciate how their money has been used honestly for the welfare of the people of India.
Sir, I'm Ashutosh from BTVI News Channel. Here, sir, here. Sir, how do you propose to stick to the fiscal consolidation roadmap for 2019?
I've just answered
Sir, but specifically when there is such a heavy outgo of 75,000 crore on the farm sector scheme that you have announced. Secondly, sir, why such a conservative estimate on GST? Even in the third year, the CGST collections have been kept at only 7.62 lakh crore. So does the government not expect buoyancy even in the third year?
So the fiscal consolidation path remains on track. So 3.5 goes down to 3.44 and we is on track to 3%. GST growth rate.
No, please listen.
The glide path, if you take it as a glide path.
No,
there is no point. Let me respond to you.
See, excuse me. No.
So please.
See, let's
listen to me.
listen to the secretary. Yeah.
So 3.4 and 3.4 is lesser than 3.5, which was earlier, and our end target is 3%. This is even taking the current one as the glide path. Now, what the minister was referring to, we have the new GDP number issued yesterday. As per that, the GDP for 2019-20 is about 225 lakh crores as against 210 lakh crores, which we have assumed in our papers. If you take that as number, our FD is actually 3.1% for next year only. So the path remains as it is.
And as far as the GST question you raised, I think you will appreciate that this government has consistently gone to the GST Council and reduced the GST rates on hundreds of items. In fact, the original GST rates itself were by and large kept lower than the pre-GST rates. In addition to that, we have further reduced rates of more than 300-400 items. In addition to that, we are giving a 14% assured devolution out of the total GST kitties to the states, and that is from a year prior to GST implementation. So if you see the amount the states are getting this year, it's almost a 50% growth over 3 years, which has never happened before in their indirect tax collections of the states of India.
Yes, please.
Compounded 14%.
Shishir from Hindu Business Line. So my question is, when the income support scheme, how can we go along with the subsidy? Can both these, I mean, income support scheme and the subsidy, both can go together?
Well, I think this is an income support scheme which has...
আমি আপোনাক দেখুৱাই আছিলো বাজেট দাখিলৰ পাছত কেন্দ্ৰীয় মন্ত্ৰী পীয়ুষ গোয়েলৰ সংবাদমেলৰ পোনপটীয়া সম্প্ৰচাৰ আকৌ লৈ গৈছো সেই সংবাদমেলৰ মাজলৈ
Finally are very close to the revised estimates. After all, 3.4 or 3.3, it's actually 3.36 or somewhat like that. We could have easily, it could have become 3.3 also, but we have believed that whatever figure comes out of the workings from the bottom, we have maintained the sanctity of budget processes and reflected the actual whatever came in. That has been the strength of this government's fiscal consolidation, and integrity in making budgets.
Sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Sir,
Please sit down and ask your question.
Sir, my name is Dheeraj. I'm from the Economic Times. My question is that this is infectious. You are saying, but my question is that you have put disinvestment target at 80,000 crore. You have said you will retain it. You have only get 35,000 crore till now. You have only 2 months, and for next year you have raised it to 90,000 crores. This is when you have not been able to do any strategic sales. How do you how do you hope to achieve this?
You want to answer or should I?
Well, in fact, your number today already 36,000 crores. And if you see the pattern in the previous years, normally 45 to 55% comes in the fourth quarter because the manner in which it's planned out and the way the accounts flow in and SEBI and other permissions which need to be taken. So for 80,000 crores, already Minister has stated on the floor of the House that that target would be met, and all the transactions for them, numbering about 36, are already in place and the amounts are flowing in. So on that count, there shouldn't be any doubt.
Sir,
Yes.
Venkataraman from Dinamala.
Sir, yes.
Sir, Venkataraman from Dinamala. Sir, you mentioned a lot about the unorganized sector. In Tamil Nadu, the cracker manufacturing industry is one of the large industry, and it's very much an unorganized sector. More than 10 lakhs employees under strike for the last 3 months. The industry has been shut down.
Questions, kindly focus
Sir, my question is, sir, the people of the...
Sir, मैं मनीष just one sec.
Sir, I just need to have some kind of assurance from you as a finance minister.
पीयूष जी, मैं मनीष हूँ इंडिया टीवी से। सबसे पहले तो आपको बधाई कि आपका ये पहला बजट है। आपके बजट पर अभी कांग्रेस की जो प्रतिक्रिया आई है उसमें उनका कहना है कि आप जो कह रहे हैं कि किसानों को 6,000 रुपया पर साल हम दे रहे हैं, और अगर एक किसान फैमिली में करीब 5 आदमी है तो मोटे तौर पर 3 रुपए पर पर्सन को पर डे मिलेगा, और उससे सिर्फ आधी कप चाय मिलेगी। तो आधी कप चाय देकर आप अपनी पीठ थपथपा रहे हैं, ये कांग्रेस का कहना है। क्या जवाब देंगे आप?
मैं आपको बड़ा सटीक जवाब दे देता हूं। कांग्रेस की 10 साल इस देश में सरकार रही, यूपीए 2004 से 2014 तक सरकार में रही। वो क्यों नहीं कुछ कर पाए किसानों के लिए इतने वर्षों में? कांग्रेस से सिर्फ एकमात्र किसानों के लिए जो काम किया वो 2008 में अनाउंस किया कि हम लोन वेवर करेंगे 70,000 करोड़ रुपए का। मात्र अनाउंसमेंट करी, 1 रुपया बजट में नहीं प्रोवाइड किया, ना 2007-8 के बजट में, ना 8-9 के बजट में, दोनों में 1 रुपया नहीं प्रोवाइड किया। छोड़ दिया कि अगली सरकार जो आएगी वो भरेगी बैंकों को, और अंत में जाके मात्र 52,000 करोड़ रुपए एक लोन वेवर के रूप में चंद किसानों के बीच में दे दिया। सीएजी की अभी रिपोर्ट मैं पढ़ रहा था, उसमें भी इतनी धांधलेबाजी निकली कि जो लोग एलिजिबल नहीं थे उन सब का लोन माफ कर दिया, कई लोग किसान नहीं थे उनका लोन माफ कर दिया, और 10 साल में उनकी एकमात्र यही किसानों के लिए संवेदनशील काम रहा। हमारी सरकार ने 6,000 रुपए प्रति वर्ष देके किसानों का एक वर्ष में ही 75,000 करोड़, और ऐसे वर्षों वर्षों तक ये पैसा मिलता रहेगा। तो अगर हमारे 10 साल लोग हैं आगे के, जो हमने विजन आज रखी थी, तो हमने लगभग 7.5 लाख करोड़ किसानों को देने का निर्णय आज किया है।
এয়া আছিল অন্তৱৰ্তীকালীন বাজেট, কিন্তু এই বাজেটত এটা লক্ষ্য কৰিবলগীয়া বিষয় হৈছে যে চৰকাৰে 10 বছৰৰ বাবে ভিজন লৈছে। আমি এই সন্দৰ্ভত অধিক খবৰ জনাম। আয়কৰৰ ন্যূনতম ৰেহাই সীমা 5 লাখ টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি কৰা হৈছে। বৰ্তমান 2.5 লাখ আছিল আয়কৰৰ ন্যূনতম ৰেহাই সীমা। মাহিলী 41,000 টকা দৰমহা পোৱা লোকে দিব নালাগে আয়কৰ। 3 কোটি মধ্যবিত্তই পাব আয়কৰ ৰেহাইৰ সুবিধা। ষ্টেণ্ডাৰ্ড ডিডাকশ্যনৰ পৰিমাণ 50,000 টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি কৰা হৈছে। আগৰ এবাৰ জনাইছো আয়কৰৰ ন্যূনতম ৰেহাই সীমা 5 লাখ টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি কৰা হৈছে। বৰ্তমান 2.5 লাখ আছিল আয়কৰৰ ন্যূনতম ৰেহাই সীমা। মাহিলী 41,000 টকা দৰমহা পোৱা লোকে এতিয়া দিব নালাগে আয়কৰ। 3 কোটি মধ্যবিত্তই পাব আয়কৰ ৰেহাইৰ সুবিধা ষ্টেণ্ডাৰ্ড ডিডাকশ্যনৰ পৰিমাণ 50,000 টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি কৰা হৈছে কৰদাতালৈ বাজেট দিছে বাজেটত হকাহ দিয়া হৈছে আৰু ইতিমধ্যে কংগ্ৰেছে অভিযোগ উত্থাপন কৰিছে যে ইয়া নিৰ্বাচনমুখী বাজেট অৱশ্যে অন্তৱৰ্তীকালীন বাজেট আগন্তুক জুলাই 2019 পূৰ্ণ বাজেট দাখিল কৰা হ'ব সদনৰ মজিয়াত কিন্তু তাৰ পূৰ্বে আয়কৰৰ ন্যূনতম ৰেহাই সীমা 5 লাখ টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি কৰা হৈছে বৰ্তমান 2.5 লাখ আছিল আয়কৰৰ ন্যূনতম ৰেহাই সীমা মাহিলী 41,000 টকা দৰমহা পোৱালৈকে দিব নালাগে আয়কৰ 3 কোটি মধ্যবিত্তই পাব আয়কৰ ৰেহাইৰ সুবিধা ষ্টেণ্ডাৰ্ড ডিডাকশ্যনৰ পৰিমাণ 50,000 টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি কৰা হৈছে আনফালে কৃষকৰ বাবেও বাজেটত বৃহৎ ঘোষণা মোদী চৰকাৰে কৃষকক দিব 6,000 টকাকৈ বেংক একাউণ্টত পুনে পুনে জমা হ'ব ধন 2 হেক্টৰতকৈ কম ভূমি থকা কৃষকে পাব সাহায্য মাহে বেংক একাউণ্টত সোমাব 500 টকাকৈ কৃষকৰ বাবেও বাজেটত বৃহৎ ঘোষণা আগবঢ়োৱা হৈছে মোদী চৰকাৰে কৃষকক দিব 6,000 টকাকৈ বেংক একাউণ্টত পুনে পুনে জমা হ'ব এই ধন 2 হেক্টৰতকৈ কম ভূমি থকা কৃষকে পাব সাহায্য মাহে বেংক একাউণ্টত সোমাব 500 টকাকৈ ইফালে কেন্দ্ৰীয় বাজেটৰ প্ৰশংসাত পঞ্চমুখ হৈ পৰিছে অসমৰ মন্ত্ৰী হিমন্ত বিশ্ব শৰ্মা এই বাজেট কৃষক মধ্যবিত্তৰ বাবে সকাহপূৰ্ণ বাজেট 6.5 লাখ টকা পৰ্যন্ত কৰ ৰেহাই দিয়া হৈছে প্ৰতিজন কৃষকৰ ন্যূনতম বাৰ্ষিক উপাৰ্জন নিশ্চিত হৈছে অসংগঠিত এক বৃহৎ শ্ৰমিক শ্ৰেণী উপকৃত হ'ব উত্তৰ পূব আন্তঃগাঁথনিৰ বাবে বিনিয়োগ বৃদ্ধি পাব এই মন্তব্য কৰিছে বিত্তমন্ত্ৰী হিমন্ত বিশ্ব শৰ্মাই
যি কেন্দ্ৰীয় বাজেট প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী নৰেন্দ্ৰ মোদী ডাঙৰীয়া চৰকাৰৰ হৈ বিত্তমন্ত্ৰী পীযুষ গোয়েল ডাঙৰীয়াই আজি সদনত উপস্থাপন কৰিলে হি কৃষক আৰু মধ্যমবৰ্গী লোকলৈ বহুত ডাঙৰ হকাহ কঢ়িয়াই আনিবলৈ সক্ষম হ'ল প্ৰথমবাৰৰ বাবে আমাৰ ডাইৰেক্ট ইনকাম টেক্স এক্সেম্পশ্যন বা আয়কৰ দিব নলগীয়া যেটো ইনকাম স্ল্যাব আছিল তাক 5 লাখ টকালৈকে বৃদ্ধি কৰা হ'ল অৰ্থাৎ বৰ্তমান 5 লাখ টকা আয়ৰ অধীনৰ বাৰ্ষিক আয়ৰ অধীনৰ কোনো ব্যক্তিয়ে আয়কৰ দিব নালাগে তাৰোপৰি 1.5 লাখ টকা মোৰ যদি 5 লাখ টকাৰ ওপৰতো ইনকাম হয় তাৰো যদি 1.5 লাখ টকা মই প্ৰভিডেন্ট ফান্ড বা আন নিৰ্দিষ্ট হিতানত জমা ৰাখো তেতিয়ালে আৰু 1.5 লাখ টকালৈকে মোক ইনকাম টেক্স দিব নালাগে বেসিক্যালি 6.5 লাখ টকালৈকে আমাৰ ইনকাম টেক্স ৰিলিফৰ স্ল্যাব বৃদ্ধি হ'ল